Landlords across America, we have breaking news for you that will rock your world. And this breaking news is... This is the Landlord Advocates, where we help landlords become better landlords. I'm your host, Matthew Lyman. Landlords, last week and yesterday, October 28th, 2021, housing policy officials and officials from the Housing Urban Development Agency gathered together to discuss changes in the Section 8 program. They came up with three of their favorite ideas. We're going to discuss with you today their second favorite idea. And that idea is to get rid of the Section 8 voucher program. What does that mean? For those of you that don't know about Section 8, the Section 8 voucher, which pays rent on behalf of the tenant, is given to the landlord, and the landlord takes that voucher and cashes it, and it covers rent for the tenant. The idea that these policy officials are flouting is that now that money, instead of going to the landlord, will be given directly to the tenant, and then the tenant will take that money and pay the landlord the rent. Unbelievable! The reasoning behind that is a few reasons that they state. Is that the money will be given directly to the landlord because landlords are not thrilled with the bureaucracy of Section 8. The red tape, the bureaucracy. Some landlords, yes. Some landlords don't want to have to disclose their financials any more than they already have to the IRS regarding that property and their finances as a landlord as a whole. Or for some, they just don't want tenants who are on social welfare programs. It is their property, it is their right to make that decision. But in many states, in particular New York State, landlords are mandated to take Section 8 and social welfare programs. If you refuse those programs, you can be charged with discrimination in New York State. Other states are following suit. So you're mandated to take Section 8. The issue that they're also raising regarding Section 8 and these policy officials is that by allowing the tenants to have this cash will provide them with dignity. A sociologist from Johns Hopkins University had stated that it will provide them with dignity such as the Earned Income Tax Credit program, where people on that program receive a large sum of cash, February, March, when they get their taxes back. They get a large sum of cash which empowers them, a sense of empowerment and dignity. And therefore they will be giving that money to their landlord. We ask, how many landlords here in America receive any of that money when they get this earned income tax credit? How many of them give you money for rent? How many of you have received money for rent from their unemployment that they received over the last year and a half? How many of you received any money for rent from the stimulus programs that were given to tenants? How many of them gave you money for rent? So the idea from these policy officials that by giving cash to the tenants will encourage landlords to rent to people on Section 8 is ludicrous. And here's why. For those landlords who do background checks, which you all should do, just don't rent because a tenant shows up with money. Don't do that. The question that you ask on these rental applications: where do you work? How much money do you make? How much money do you bring home? So when a tenant fills out that application, and you know what your rent is, and you see what kind of money they're bringing home from a job, if they have one, and you realize that that does not equate to the ability for them to pay the rent every month, you're not going to ask yourself, where's the rest of this money coming from? Eventually, they're going to have to say, well, I get a voucher sent directly to me from Section 8 to give you the money. The landlord's going to say, whoa, wait a minute here. I don't like this program because I want the money to come directly to me because then I know I'll get it. And they're going to turn more and more people away from Section 8 rather than accepting Section 8. The idea that many landlords out there, have told our office, on our social media, I accept Section 8 because I get a guaranteed payment every month. No matter what that payment may be, I know I'm going to get that money every month. And for many landlords across America, that payment has helped them maintain their properties during the COVID-19 pandemic. For without that money, they would not have been able to pay their taxes or their mortgage or keep their home. So that money was very pivotal in allowing them to keep their property. Now when the government is saying, we're not going to allow you to get the money anymore, it's going to go directly to your tenant, more and more landlords are going to say no. I mean, the Biden administration now is pondering the idea of issuing another 750,000 vouchers to families across America for Section 8. Now you're going to add 750,000 more people onto the Section 8 program. You say that there's not enough housing out there for them because people don't want to accept these programs. Well, now you're going to make it even harder when you don't give the money to the landlords. Instead of giving the money to the tenants, make it an easier, streamlined system for landlords to say, yes, I'll take Section 8 because the money's coming to me. Don't make landlords jump through hoops, dig through trenches, climb over barbed wire fences, and cut themselves all up to get this money from Section 8. Don't do it. We at the Landlord Advocates are advocating for every one of you and imploring every one of you to contact your member of Congress and your member of the U.S. Senate and tell them that you do not support this program. You do not want the Section 8 money to go directly to the tenant. You want the money to go directly to you, the landlord. And if this does not happen, you are going to say no to Section 8, no to those tenants on Section 8, no, I'm not going to give them a place to live, and more people out there who the government says are having a hard time finding a place to live are going to have an even harder time to find a place to live. For those of you in the federal government, HUD, policy, municipal housing directors, all of you, do not allow this program to gain traction. Do not get rid of the Section 8 voucher program for tenants to get their rent paid directly to the landlord. Because if you do, the program that you wish to help and the tenants you wish to help, you will not be helping them at all. Because more and more landlords across the United States are going to say, no way to Section 8. Landlords, we ask that you share this video. We only cover a number of groups on Facebook, on social media. Share this across the United States. Send it to California landlords, Oregon landlords, Texas landlords, South Dakota, everywhere. Leave comments below. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so you'll be made aware of future videos that we have to help you to become a better landlord. Until then, landlords, take care.